Too much light coming across the back here. Boy. What's up, good people? Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all. Damn, it's too much light. Oh well, you're just gonna have to deal with it, okay? Let me see. Hold it. Let me maybe turn it this way. See if this helps. Yeah, there we go. What's up, good people? Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Booth. Why has it always got to be an Eagle fan? Why has it always got to be an Eagle fan as the first one up in here? Um, I'm fired up. Okay, great news. Great news. First positive thing we've had in Dallas. What's up? Jana Swires, Paul, Chad. What's up, good people? I still like your channel. Well, I appreciate that. Need Kellen Moore fired. Well, I don't know. I don't know on that one. Damn near crying right now. Pastor, son, don't. There's no crying in football. But I tell you what, it's chilly out here. Okay, dirt nasty. One less go. Wait a minute. Great news. Just seen it on Twitter. Well, I've been trying to upload it for about the last 15 minutes. It's crazy because I was actually listening to the Mike McCarthy. I love how that does that. Woo! I was actually listening to the Mike McCarthy press conference, and he was going through and he was talking about, get a little candle heat over here because it's a little chilly. There we go. He was talking about, end of the season, how Jerry Jones wants him to coach as long as Tom Landry did. Yeah, okay. That's a long time. Sign drop and Ramsey for offense and defense. I would rather go, instead of Jalen Ramsey, I'd rather get me a better offensive weapon. I need a better running game, and I need another great receiver. Unfortunately, Carolina ain't taking Kellen off our hands. No, but at least we've got Dan Quinn coming back. Level with this, Mark. Do you and your heart feel Dak is our long-term answer or quarterback? Pumped about? Yeah, okay. Here's my thing. Okay. I know I get deemed a Dak Prescott lover and things like that. Here's the thing that's so amazing to me is we keep getting sold on a quarterback that can elevate and win the Super Bowl with nothing else. Right? That's what we keep saying. Well, Dak can't elevate the team. Now, let me ask you, player for player, if you look at the San Francisco 49ers, I'll be honest now, what offensive weapons would you take over the ones we have? Being serious now. What offensive weapons? Because I look at right now the San Francisco 49ers, at the guys that they have, the Debos, the Christian McCaffreys and things like that. You look at the Philadelphia Eagles, best offensive line in football, Jalen Hurts, Devontae Smith, A.J. Brown and stuff, Miles Sanders. They have more weapons than what we do. Okay? If you don't, and here's what I'll say about Dak. If you don't think that Dak Prescott is the answer getting the Super Bowl, then you certainly don't think that Josh Allen is. That's the bottom line. So instead of us saying, well, Dak can't do it by himself, he needs pieces around him, well, how don't we go out and get those pieces around him? Take a look at what the Dallas Cowboys offense was before we got Amari Cooper. It wasn't that Amari Cooper was throwing the ball to himself. We went from 183 yards passing a game before we got Amari Cooper in 2018 to 250. Having guys that can make moves is huge. And I'm sorry, if your number 2 guy is Noah Brown, bring Aaron Rodgers here and you're going to get the same results. You're going to get the same results. There's just not enough. And when it comes to Kellen Moore, I still don't know what we are as an identity. I don't know what we are as an identity as far as an offense. Are we a running team? Are we a passing team? Are we a West? You don't know, because it's kind of like We are jack of all trades, but not mastering anything. Nothing. So, yes, I think Dak can do it. But he can't do it without having help. And I look at this and I ask, what quarterback has elevated a garbage team to win a Super Bowl? I'll wait. I don't think it exists. And there's only one Pat Mahomes, but you can look at Pat Mahomes and he still has some great weapons. Great weapons. Think we're keeping Zeke? I actually don't think. After us getting rid of Skip Pete, I think that's the end of Zeke Elliott. I think Zeke's gone. And I really, if you're asking me my gut right now, I don't think Kellen Moore's coming back as the offensive coordinator. Because we got rid of so many of the assistant coaches there, I don't think that he's going to be the one. Dak's not a bad quarterback. The problem is going to be hard to build for him giving his contract now. Best news I've heard all day. Just need Kellen Moore gone. Dak can't get any better with Kellen. It's funny because everybody and their sister has been, going back and coming, and letting me know. And I put out a video. I was working on getting a video out, but it literally took forever for it to upload. Seriously, it was just like, come on, thing, would you get up in here? Because I really and truly want this video out here. We as Cowboy fans need some great news, and this is freaking incredible news for us to be able to keep him. I got to think that Micah Parsons is probably the happiest person right now. Are we getting a new head coach? No, we're not getting a new head coach. No, Dan Quinn is staying as the defensive coordinator. And so here's the thing. I was just on the video. If you go back and watch it and things, I'm actually out here because the winds died down and it's actually cold, but it's calm. It's calming out here. So let me zip up my jacket here. I love this jacket my wife made for me. If you are Dan Quinn, would you rather be the coach of the Indianapolis Colts with an owner who's a flake? Let's be clear here. Irsay is a flake. Frank Wright was not a bad coach. You got rid of him and then hired a center who's got no coaching experience. And you're looking like you're going to retain him after going 1-7. Excuse me. After going 1-7. Okay? Do you want to go there and have to start at rock bottom in the AFC where it's loaded with quarterbacks and teams? Or stay as defensive coordinator with the Cowboys? You'll get more publicity as defensive coordinator for the Cowboys than you will with the Colts. And for Dan Quinn, for as much as Jerry and Stephen Jones mess with Mike McCarthy and Kellen Moore and all that, they stay away from the defense. Dan Quinn, what Dan Quinn wants, Dan Quinn gets. He's learned that trust. And if you're talking about wanting to be a head coach, if the team fails next year, guess what? You're the head guy. That's it. You'll be elevated to be the head coach. So for the Cowboys, this is a great thing. We don't, and this is where it's interesting. We don't know what's happened behind closed doors. A couple days ago, I said, Jerry, this is one of those times that there is no salary cap when it comes to coordinators. And I want you to, okay, let me say something here while we're here, because I see, now listen, what you may notice right now, okay, Philadelphia, don't block none of my people. Don't F around and find out. I made you a moderator so you don't keep getting blocked. Now, moderators, understand, listen, moderators, I'm talking to you guys, especially you, Philadelphia. I don't want people blocked unless they're coming in and they're Pornhub or something like that. Or they're going after people in the chat, saying bad things about them. Okay? They're coming in just saying Dak sucks. You don't have to block them. Just ignore them. Okay? In the end, This only works if people are watching. And if you get to the point where you just block everybody who's got a difference of opinion, it doesn't work. So just be cool. We know we got Stan that always likes to come in here and try and show his ass and stuff. That one, no problem. Okay? So just be cool. Now, again, Philadelphia is a special case. He's special. Okay? Reason being is he actually went to bat for me and tried to look out for a brother. Okay? And in the same way, up here in Delaware, where I've gone into Lowe's and I've had Eagle fans that recognize me and they're cool people, we can get along with Eagle fans. Okay? All right? So, you are the head coach in waiting, so to speak. And working with Mike and Parsons, having the opportunity to work with a generational talent to be able to design the defense the way you want, you can now put the final spin on this defense. You can go out this offseason and really go ahead and say, Jerry, I need this, this, and this, and guarantee that you're going to get it. Peaceful warrior. That's an oxymoron. Peaceful warrior? Peaceful warrior? Okay. I hate Eagles teams and fans. Sorry, Mark. Okay. All right, Eric. Like I said, I just say I like all Eagle fans. I said there's some that are coming, like my friend Allie. She's good people. We went to JMU together. I think this is great news for the Cowboys. I will say, watching Dan Quinn's press conference, that it was definitely a different tone in comparison to last year. Last year seemed like his tail was between his legs, that he kept, every time he spoke, it just got worse and worse. Who wins between the 49ers and the Eagles? I actually think it's going to be the 49ers, to be honest with you. And it's one of those things that I hate both of them. I hate. Can a brother get a tie? Mark, Dan Quinn is back. Great news. Yes, it is fantastic news. Oh, this year he's pissed, and I know it. Oh, this year he's pissed, and I know it. Eagles ain't going to do nothing to the 49ers. So I just wanted to come on here live and say, hey, we finally got some good news for once. Dan Quinn coming back. Now, as far as Kellen Moore goes, now here's where it gets to be interesting. Here's where it gets to be interesting. We know Carolina has now hired Frank Wright. Okay? Frank Wright, you could actually look at his record and say, yeah, he's done really well without having a quarterback. And he ain't got one in Carolina. When Mike McCarthy was asked about, what's the plan with Kellen Moore? Is Kellen Moore coming back? His response was, I haven't talked with Kellen Moore much over the last, few days. We're in the evaluation process. So at least that says we haven't made a decision, which means we're still thinking about it. Blue Virus, what's up? Let's cross our fingers that we can get rid of Kellen Moore. Me too as well. Let Kellen go and we are in business. Well, it's not just Kellen Moore, because here's the problem. I still say, everybody is beating down on Dak. Dak sucks. Dak, he keeps going to CD Lamb and everything else, and because you know why? That's the guy he trusts. Sorry, guys. You can't think that Noah Brown is as good as guys like Deebo Samuels. You just can't. Sorry. You can't look at Dalton Schultz and think that he's a George Kittle. You see the kind of catches George Kittle makes in traffic? How many times have you seen Dalton Schultz uncontested bobble a pass and it goes out? These things aren't the same. And we have to get those weapons. You get those weapons for Dak, I'm going to tell you. I would love to bring John Kitna back. Cowboys, I would love to. Yeah, he did. You know why? Because Lamb is the one guy they figure we really got to cover. Those other guys aren't getting separation. And guys throw interceptions too. You do know, check this out. Let me find it real quick. Um, would you rather have Josh Allen? Let's see if I can find it. Okay, check this out. Would you rather have Josh Allen? Just realized you watch Fish too. Who watches Fish too? Give me Allen all freaking day. Well, Dwayne, here's the thing. Check this out. Since Dak Prescott came back from the thumb injury, okay, with the plate in his hand, okay, I'm going to give you numbers. 84.5 QBR, 98.3. Which one is Dak and which one is Josh Allen? 84.5 is Josh Allen in the last 13 games. Okay, last 13 games, 28 TDs or 21 TDs? Which one is Josh Allen? Josh Allen's the 21. Dak is the 28. 2,920 yards passing or 3,064 yards passing? Which one is Dak? Which one is Josh Allen? Dak Prescott, 320 yards more. Interceptions wise, Dak has thrown 3 more than Josh Allen, but Josh Allen had 4 more fumbles in that time. Eddie, I want to talk to you, Eddie. The difference is Josh Allen is not okay, his legs. But here's the bottom line. Take a look at the weapons that Josh Allen has. Okay, Buffalo stats. Let me pull up the stats real quick. All right, let's go. Stephon Diggs, Gabriel Davis, Dawson Knox. Would you take those guys or would you take our wide receiver core? I think I'd take that wide receiver core. I think I'd take that wide receiver core in a minute. Because check this out. Gabriel Davis has more yards than any other player on the Cowboys receiving except of CeeDee Lamb. Their tight end, Dawson Knox, would be second most in yardage on our team. They got playmakers on that offense that we don't. They played at home in the playoffs as a favorite. We played on the road in San Francisco. Can you honestly look at the San Francisco 49ers and the talent they have on their team and say we're equal to them? Let's be honest here. Forget about Dak Prescott. I'm just looking at the offensive players that they have. Can you honestly say we have better and we failed? The only way you say we failed is if we had superior talent. We were playing at home. We played on the road on a short week. That team had 8 days, no travel to get ready for a game. We had 5.5 days on the road. Guys, let's be real here. Everybody wants to point the finger and say, it's just Dak Prescott. It's Dak. He just sucks. You could put anybody, you could take Josh Allen and put Josh Allen in there this year. You think we're winning this year? You think we're winning on the road with Josh Allen instead of Dak in that playoff game? Honestly? There's blue virus. Then the Bills, okay, if we are looking at the Cowboys, a team that they looked at and said, They're about a 500 team. That's what they said about the team. That's what we all said. We looked at it and said, we ain't got the talent to compete. Buffalo, they looked at it and said, those guys are Super Bowl contenders. Those guys have the players, right? These things weren't equal going in here, yet we both failed at the same time. Sorry. It would be different if it was we had CD, we had Amari Cooper, that we had a George Kittle, and that we had Tony Pollard out there and things, and the offensive line was stout and everything, and then Dak was just his thumb up his butt, and we lost that way. We couldn't run the football. We lost our second best weapon in the first half. The only thing that was going was the passing game. Sorry. Yes, Dak threw some bad passes. I'll give it to you. But you are looking at the symptom as opposed to the root of the problem. When all you're calling 70% of the time is comebacks, when teams look at you and say, they don't do anything special, they don't do anything complex. In other words, we know what they're going to do. And when you rely on a Noah Brown as one of your main weapons, you can't honestly say, yeah, let's go win a Super Bowl with Noah Brown. Come on, man. Yeah, Mike McCarthy and Kellen Moore are meeting tomorrow. Marky Mark, okay. And okay, whatever. You know what, Marky Mark. I'm so biased. I'm not biased. I've said Dak Prescott had a terrible game. And as people go through and they say, Dak can't do it without help, then why do we not go out and get the help? Seriously. Why do we not go out and say, all right, Dak is good, but he needs some help. Then let's get him some help. If you have a child who's struggling in school, do you get him a tutor? Do you get him a software program to help him with the math? Or do you just say, oh, he sucks, he's just stupid. Oh, well, he needs help, but we're not going to give him help. You get him help. You get them help. Why is this such a crazy idea? Marky Mark, hold on. Marky Mark, are you Stan? You're sounding Stan-ish. The comments are going by so fast, I can't get them. Why didn't Dak ask for... Okay. We need another young running back, yes. Pollard-type skills. A game-changing wide receiver, of course. And a better... Thank you. Eddie is a genius. That's it in a nutshell. Who do you think should be the offensive coordinator? Here's shout out to, oh man, I got a new thing. Okay. So celebrate good times. Come on. Braden Bledsoe, you are their very first super chat from you. Shout out to you. I actually think that the offensive coordinator is actually in the house. Listen, I actually forgot about it. Thank you, Braden Bledsoe. I actually think they're thinking about Brian Schottenheimer because during the press conference that Mike McCarthy was doing, he was talking about the quality control guys. And he said, these guys are guys you want to get in your organization because of their experience where they could be coordinators in places and things. And this is kind of a new thing for it. And to me, it kind of hit me um, it kind of hit me that he's kind of talking now about him. And it was kind of like, are they looking at um, Brian Schottenheimer? We have to stop always depending on the draft picks and get some. There, we got such smart people today. We got a da 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 a damn Gina update. Hold on, what we got? Head coach Mike McCarthy declined several opportunities in season-ending news conference to commit to Kellen Moore returning if he's not hired elsewhere. The two spoke briefly today. Kellen Moore, just like the rest of the coaches, will be evaluated. And that's what I kind of felt when I shout out to damn Gina. That's what I kind of felt when I was listening to the press conference. It wasn't a glowing review. It was kind of like, well, he's being evaluated. Well, you were right there with them. What's the evaluation? You, okay. To me, that was like, this is the NFL. Stop with the excuses. It sounds like nonsense. Kellen's got to go. Kind of sounds like Kellen might actually be gone. I actually think that it is, because you look at the other offensive coaches that they've already gotten rid of. Sounds like they're saying we need a new start. And Skip Pete going, I hate to say it, I think that's the end of Zeke Elliott being with the Cowboys. Ryan Clark, what's up? What's good, Mark? What's good is Dan Quinn is returning to the Dallas Cowboys. Thomas Garrett, what's up, Thomas? We have good news, and that is Dan Quinn is back in the fold for the Dallas Cowboys. And I'm sitting out here by candlelight. Look at that. We got some candlelight out here. What's up? Elevate his clipboard to the back of Boise State. We need a real quarterback plan, plain and simple. Bring the bad man to Dallas. Marky Mark. You didn't happen to see the game that he played against the Lions, did you? You know how many games Aaron Rodgers threw for 300 yards this year? Do you? Zero. So you'd take Aaron Rodgers? I wouldn't. We talk about Dak Prescott making $40 million. Aaron Rodgers makes $50 million. Aaron Rodgers, all he had to do was beat the Lions. Okay, we're bitching about Dak Prescott losing to San Francisco 49ers on the road and only scoring 12 points. Aaron Rodgers at home against the Lions defense, one of the worst defenses in football, threw one TD, one interception, 205 yards against the Lions. Win that game and you're in the playoffs. The Lions had nothing to play for, and they lost. I'm not saying that there's not quarterbacks out there that would be better than Dak Prescott, but at this point with Aaron Rodgers, I don't think it is. Not with Aaron Rodgers. Sorry. It's not a, how do we know she left him? Because I heard he's already dating somebody else. And it was actually, from what I heard, it wasn't like the day after the game, that they had actually broken up a few weeks ago. The Lions were a great team that had a bad start. The defense had improved. Look at the stats. Okay. But are we saying the Lions are as good as the San Francisco 49ers on the road? Seriously? Oh, hold it. Wait a minute. So we're saying that Aaron Rodgers scoring 16 points at home against the Lions was better than Dak Prescott being on the road with 5 days between games going against the San Francisco 49ers? Seriously? I'm sorry. That's the dumbest thing that I have heard all day. Sorry. No. No. 205 yards against the Detroit Lions, 1 TD and 1 interception. You're telling me that that's okay against the Lions at home, at Lambeau Field, a team that had nothing to play for? No. Shout out to Antone. Yeah, get a better quarterback coach. John Kitna worked great with Dak Prescott. You saw Dak Prescott stepping up with John Kitna. And for whatever reason, they decided, meh, we'll get rid of him. We don't know if Kellen Moore is staying. Mike McCarthy has talked to him briefly today. They're going to be meeting tomorrow for evaluation. Yeah, right. And FYI, the 49ers that beat us, last year, went over and bitch slapped Aaron Rodgers. I think Aaron Rodgers only had like 140 yards passing against them. And they were the number one seed. Kitna dealing with family issues now, probably not an option. Moore needs to go. Kellen Moore let Dak down. He's calling Dak to throw 3rd and 2, shaking my head, play calling us everything. Rodgers is past his prime. Who's thinking Tony Romo's not going to? Are you kidding me? Tony Romo's making more money a year than coaches are, head coaches. Why would he leave? Yeah, he's off right now. He ain't got to worry about game planning and firing. Are you serious? Tony Romo, that's a pipe dream. I'm telling you, call him up. I want to win games. Why are people commenting about Dak's girlfriend? Let Kelmore get time. Has caught up with him. Let Moore go. I'm. Has time caught up with him, or was time ever behind him? Keller doesn't fit Dak's strengths. Damn, we better still had problems with in play action pass. It would have been nice if we had used more play action pass. It'd been nice if we had used more 12 personnel. Sanchez was his rookie year. His third year, he actually had John Kitna as his coach, as his quarterback coach, after Wilson ended up going. Micah said his defense will not play fit Dak, draft a quarterback. That's not what he said. Rush, we trust. Exactly. That's why Romo wouldn't even think about coaching. Romo's getting like $12 million a year. That's more than head coaches make. Why would you leave to become a coordinator that's making like $1 or $2 million? Come on. Kevin Curl Moore better be gone. Brian Flores, offensive coordinator. Brian Flores, I think, is the leading candidate right now for the Texans. Ramsey soft like pudding. Dallas has tons of needs this year. They do. Okay, so Marky Mark. So Kyler Murray's getting paid more than Dak. How's he doing? Aaron Rodgers is getting paid $10 million more. How'd he do this year without Devontae Adams? Russell Wilson, $49 million. How's he doing there? Huh? You take a look at some of these salaries out here. $40 million is right about average right about now. All right, so Lamar Hill. Who's your guy? Who's your guy to replace him? Give me solutions. I just hear Dak's not the answer. Then what is the answer? But nobody seems to have that answer. Do they? What is the answer? My answer? Put more talent around him. If he's not good enough to win a Super Bowl on his own, then get the people around him that can. It's easier to get yourself a lights out wide receiver than it is a quarterback. Wouldn't you say? I don't know. Bring Lamar, because Lamar Jackson's winning Super Bowls every year, right? Yeah, let's get Lamar Jackson, who couldn't play the last 2 months of the season because he's injured. That's a solution. There you go. And I hate to tell you, he's going to get paid more than $40 million just this. That's the solution. There you go. Yeah, but here's the thing. That $49 million, and just like it was supposed to be 42 this year, which only ended up being 19, They have triggers in there that they can go ahead and use. His cap number won't be 49 this year. And FYI, you can't just go ahead and just say, okay, there you go, and not take a cap hit. Sorry, just are. Just like when Isaac Alacon and tight end Seth Green were re-signed just a few minutes ago. Just like Atlanta Falcons getting rid of Matty Ice last year, they took like a $36 million cap hit. Hate to tell you, you get rid of Dak, you're going to take that big cap hit. Just are. So you can yell, you can scream, you can cuss him out and everything else. The reality is Dak is your quarterback. You ain't got no other choices. So what you need to do is make the best of it. That's the bottom line. That's the bottom line. Get help for Dak and get a rookie quarterback for 1 year if Dak can't play good after that. Next man up. I'm with you. I would love Stephon Diggs if available. Well, you know what? Stephon has definitely made some noise. He definitely is like, screw this. And you don't know if this is now a rift between Diggs and Josh Allen. And you never know. Now, would I give up a number one for him? Hell yes. Hell yes. And, he would probably love to be there playing with his brother. Right. C. Brown. Shout out to C. Brown. People just saying anything. How do you expect Lamar Jackson to get you a Super Bowl when he hasn't accomplished that? He's got one playoff win. One playoff win. Marky Mark. Okay. All right, Stan. Okay, Stan. I'm a Dak fan. No, I am a realist because all this bullshit that people come up with. Remember when people said, "Oh, let's trade for, let's get Jared Goff. Let's go get Baker Mayfield." How are those guys doing right now? Seriously. Sorry. You could take Josh Allen and put him where we were right now in that playoff game, and you probably have the same results. Why? Because he's doing the exact same thing Dak is. And you can take a look at the quarterbacks out there. All these people that everybody's naming, they're all sitting home right now too. They're all sitting home right now. There's one Pat Mahomes, and Kansas City ain't getting rid of him. They ain't getting rid of him. You want to win a Super Bowl? Get yourself a good offensive coordinator. Somebody more experienced than Kellen Moore. Get yourself a couple more playmakers on offense. Get yourself a young running back. Running backs don't last for long. You do these things. You got a great base. You got a defense that you add a couple, get another linebacker, get another cornerback. You got a great defense that can carry you. If you get this offense where we can run the ball and be balanced, you got a Super Bowl team. Now, the nice thing is, at least next year, we don't have that first place schedule. The Eagles do. Dan Quinn is staying. That's going to help us out. Let the Eagles have to face all those, division winners next year. Let's take some money. Let's restructure some of these contracts. Let's get rid of some of the dead weight. Tyron Smith, sorry. It's just too much money. Zeke Elliott, sorry. Too much money. Spend some money, get a couple of playmakers, and you're going to be great. Facts. Okay. Get rid of Dak. Okay. We trimming fat, y'all? Oh, I need to trim some fat. I wish I could just go, blump, blump, take a slab of fat off and not have to diet. A mobile quarterback that ain't scared of getting hit and can run. If a quarterback has regressed under the offensive coordinator is a liability. Perfect analogy. Cowboys can get Jimmy. He's been to a Super Bowl. Yeah, but see, Jimmy Johnson, sorry, passed him by, y'all. Dak Street boys. Zeke can't even get 3 to 4 yards of carry now. He's barely gets 2 yards at the backfield, and Turpin could have at least had 4 special teams. Yeah, um, you know that's the sad thing about football. There were lanes where if Zeke had just a little bit more burst, those 4 yard runs would have been 10, 15, 20 yard ones. But he just doesn't have it anymore. Unfortunately, running backs, it's 4 years. After 4 years, they start going downhill, which makes me worry about doing a long term deal for Tony Pollard because Tony Pollard, here we go with another injury. Last year was the plantar fasciitis. Are we going to throw more money at Tony Pollard and be in the same situation we are with Zeke in 2 years? You guys are better off cutting it off than restructuring. It's tough to move on from a beloved player, but you got to do you do. That's the thing is, we them boys and we look out for our guys and we love them, but at some point, it's a young man's game, and you can't afford to pay guys a whole lot of money. As we're talking about Dak's salary, let's look at over the cap real quick because you want to talk about salaries that may have been a mistake is what the Cowboys did with D-Law. The second biggest hit we have on the cap next year is DeMarcus Lawrence. We restructured his deal so that way we ended up basically having a cheap deal, right? His base salary is $15 million, but his cap hit is $26 million. So we're back to where we were going into last year. We basically just got a 1 year reprieve. The problem is if we cut him pre-June 1st, you get a $35 million cap hit, only saving $9 million. If you make him a post-June 1st cut, it just breaks even. And so you look at that and say, is DeMarcus Lawrence worth $26 million? As we're going through and killing Dak Prescott, is DeMarcus Lawrence worth $26 million? Is Tyron Smith worth $17 million next year? Is Zeke Elliott worth $16 million next year? Is Michael Gallup worth almost $14 million next year? Those are the contracts that you look at and say, damn, what were we thinking? When you think of Dalton Schultz and Michael Gallup costing you $23 million, $23 million for them. And between the two of them, you didn't get 1,000 yards of receiving yards. Hold up. Wait. Here we go. Hold on.
We know Jerry Jones is built off of respect, and the people.
Let me see. I thought somebody. I think we may have Dan Quinn. That was 1 hour ago.
So, just I have a list of 12 questions.
Thought we might have Dan Quinn's. Okay, we don't have it. Cowboys desperately need a legit number 2 wide receiver. Oh my God, yes. Jeff Lee, how about yourself chilling? Refund, got it. What do you expect Dak's contract. Oh, let's go, wait a minute. Um, we better get ready paying Micah Parsons, C.D. Lamb, and Diggs. Yeah, we're gonna have to pay. We are gonna have to pay them. But here's the thing: we still yet don't know how much the salary cap is going up. They have yet to set that. They'll be setting that next month, and my bet is it's going to go up about 25 to $30 million, which is great news, and continue to rise exponentially from that point on. It's going to be one hell of a growth in the future. So what you do, and that's where a lot of teams ended up looking at this year. They signed guys on the cheap and kicked the money down the road, knowing that the salary cap is going to balloon. We need to cut Gallup. You can't. Here's the thing: you got to have Michael Gallup for one more year before you're going to be able to get him. Okay, so Marky Mark, what are you going to? Okay, so what's your plan at quarterback? I keep hearing trade Dak, trade Dak. Evidently, if you're going to trade somebody, that means they're worthwhile to trade to somebody else. So if you're telling me that teams that looking, because I looked at last year, a lot of teams that thought that they were going to get a quarterback. Denver with Russell Wilson, Carolina with Baker Mayfield, Washington with Carson Wentz, the Colts with Matty Ice. Um, Not a single one of those situations worked. Not a single one. None. Zero. Zero. So who you trading for, bro? Who you trading for? And don't say just draft a quarterback, because I've seen Cardinals draft Josh Rosen and after 1 year turn around and draft Kyler Murray, pay Kyler Murray, what, $250 million? And he can't stay off the PlayStation and stay healthy. Lamar Jackson right there has been dynamic, but I believe he's on the tail end of his career because of the injuries. He's breaking down more and more. You have to look at Lamar Jackson, in the sense of what a running back is. A running back, 4 years. 4 years. After that, they start going downhill. Lamar Jackson is taking hits like a running back, and he's beginning to start having those hits accumulate and become injuries. Just does. Oh man, not the. Oh, if Tony Romo was here, hello, we've got the same record with Tony Romo. And don't go through and tell me, well, Tony Romo never had a team like this. The 2007 Dallas Cowboys team was loaded, was absolutely positively loaded. 13 Pro Bowlers, number one seed, and we choked in the playoffs to the Giants. We choke. That, my friends, that game is what choke is. When you are a number one seed playing at home on an extra week of rest and you lose to a wild card team, that's a choke. Second round of the playoffs on the road, where the other team has 3 more days to be ready for it, I don't know that that's a choke. San Francisco's a better coached, more talented team. Dallas' next quarterback will be Jerry's grandson. Tony Romo never had a defense. Toby, take a look at that 2017. Let me. Hold up. Our gravy. Dak is Romo 2.0, but I think y'all have to keep him. There's no doubt we have to keep him. He's got a no trade clause. Let's see if I can find it real quick. Okay. Check this out. Dallas Cowboys in 2007, Pro Bowlers. Okay. Tony Romo, Marion Barber, Terrell Owens, Jason Witten, Flozell Adams, Leonard Davis, Andre Garrard. Okay. On defense, Greg Ellis, DeMarcus Ware, Terrence Newman, Ken Hamlin, Roy Williams, and the kicker, Nick Foles. Okay? All pros. All pros. Terrell Owens, first team. Jason Witten, first team. DeMarcus Ware, first team. Tackle, Flozell Adams, second team. Guard, Leonard Davis, second team. 5 all pros on the team, 13 Pro Bowlers. I'm sick of this revisionist history where people come up with their own freaking facts, which is bullshit. 13 Pro Bowlers, 5 all pros on that team. Oh, I love it. Oh, here we go. Of course, there's always some great college ones. You know how many great college ones end up not being great pro ones? For every Pat Mahomes, there's 10 Johnny Manziels, Josh Rosens, Sam Darnolds, Baker Mayfields. There's so many failures when it comes to quarterbacks. There's not a lot of good quarterbacks in the NFL. Just not. Just not. And, you can try and convince, and that's fine. If it makes you sleep at night, if it makes you feel better, by all means, think that all we need is a quarterback. But this is the same argument we had back with Tony Romo. And we missed the underlying problem. Coaching and having playmakers. Too much blue chew action. Romo was worst 8-8 king. Yeah. People seem to forget that one. Rush won't have scored crap. Stop the cap. Stop the cap. Borsix. They don't remember the 3 interceptions against the Eagles. Romo, the king of 8-8. Well, you know what, Marky Mark? I'm going to make it easy for you, bro. Stan, you don't have to worry about being convinced anymore. Bye. How about that one? Okay? There you go. You don't have to worry about being convinced anymore. You don't have to be here. It's great. Quinn is staying in Dallas. Hey, Mark, my guess is Kellen is gone tomorrow. That may be the case. Rush would have scored 12 points without 2 picks. So if Philly loses, what do they need? Supposedly, they have a good quarterback. Exactly. Bye to all the hating fans. Yeah, you know what? Because we know who that really was. We know he's running right now to his channel. He's running to his channel to make a video about me. That's Stan. Stan. You can always tell when it's him by the way he goes at it. You know what? And life is too short to waste with idiots. Okay. I think the defense figured out more after a second year. Romo was trash. He lost every big game. Tank in 2025 and draft Archie Manning. We have to have a good draft, which we always do, and then we got something. Donnell Jenkins, what's up? Shout out to you, my man. 17 months as a Joke Move Sports member. Draft a running back to pair with Malik Davis. Wow, Mark, I thought you said you were not. It got to be a point where I said, try not to. But literally, he's coming out with, you're just a Dak, lover, a Dak, it's just like, okay, all right, dude, enough of the spams and things, okay? I know you've spammed it enough. You're trying to convince us that okay. Well, if you're saying I'm trying to convince you, don't worry about it. You don't have to be here. Trade for Tom Brady. You mean Tom Brady who lost to Dak? Oh, okay. Quinn said he would stay if Kellen Moore go. Yeah, I wish that was the case. I understand. The Cowboys may have the number one defense next season. Doing good, Mark. Tom Brady, Borsich, Philadelphia underdogs, then beat him and shut the hell up. Alan Williams. I saw on the Dallas Cowboy report with Tom Downey that we can't keep Kellen Moore and the quarterback coach. Well, that's speculation by Tom Downey. He doesn't know for sure. Um, it wouldn't surprise me if we got rid of him, and it wouldn't surprise me if we kept him. It just really wouldn't, because we know how Jerry Jones loved Jason Garrett, and I feel kind of like Kellen Moore is that dude. I'm not, you know what, Jasmine Hill, I think we're all looking at this season the wrong way. We got a taste of what the possibilities are on a team that nobody thought would be a playoff team. To me, that says, damn, when you look at teams that went out there and got people that made their teams better, like the Eagles and the 49ers, and you say, we were competing. We beat the Eagles one time. We were close against San Francisco. To me, that says all you need to do is get a couple more pieces together and you're there. That you're there. To me, this season actually gives me more hope for the future, especially if right now the Cowboys, here's what would give me the biggest hope and say things are different. If tomorrow we find out Kellen Moore is being replaced, that they're saying we have to do changes of things and start over with it. That's what would give me the biggest hope. The fact that they were somehow able to bring back Dan Quinn, we don't know if Jerry Jones called him up and said, hey, look, hey, Dan, hey, my man, Dan, you know what? You the coach in waiting. We're going to give you more money to stay right here. We're going to give you more latitude. You don't really want to go to the Arizona Cardinals. You don't want to go to the Colts. You want to be here, Big D, and we're going to take care of you. You don't know if they made an extra side deal in there or something like that to get him to stay because they recognize what this defense could do. You're right about that, Gregor. I've said it. Kellen Moore, excuse me, Cooper Rush. Without Cooper Rush, we're not in the playoffs. Draft a wide receiver in the first round and O-line in the first round. And I think you're going to need a cornerback too. You're going to need another cornerback. You've got Jordan Lewis and Anthony Brown that are both free agents. But I think you need another really good cornerback back there. And teach Diggs how to tackle. Get my man how to tackle better. All right? So I'm going to get ready to end this stream. We've taken up enough. We need to sign tip-top priority. Oh, Tony Pollard. I think Cowboys need better supplements. I hope when they sign Tony Pollard that they have an out on it, because I don't want to be Queen Bella. The Queen is in. The Queen is here. The Queen is here. I don't want us to look at Tony Pollard's contract 2 years from now just like Zeke's. Just don't. But we'll see. So we're going to go ahead and wrap this thing up here. Let me say I appreciate each and every one of you guys except for Marky Mark, a.k.a. Stan. Okay, we know who that was. We love Quinn. At least we made a good move here. We actually did re-sign some players today. Alacon has been re-signed today. Was one of the players we signed the futures contracts and stuff. So I don't know if they'll still get the foreign player exemption or not. Kurt Warner should be offensive coordinator. He's not going to leave the booth for that. Love you too there, Borsich. Great job, Mark. First year subscriber. Love you. Love you too, Big Santana. Lisa, what's up, Lisa? Crazy Corvette. Lewis Raves, thanks and have a good one. Oh, well, don't worry. I'll be back out here now that I got my candleside chat and stuff, and we'll be looking at the news for the Dallas Cowboys. As always, I appreciate you guys. Peace.